Number 10, Falling for Christmas. This is Lindsay Lohan's return to the big screen in this rom-com. She plays a hotel heiress who gets into a skiing accident and suffers amnesia in the days leading up to Christmas. Of course, she runs into a handsome blue-collar lodge owner, as one does when you're on vacation. This seems like a wholesome, cute movie to watch during the holidays. Nothing too crazy, but kind of cool that Lindsay Lohan is back and acting. Number 9, Spirited. Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell team up in a musical version of Charles Dickens' story A Christmas Carol. There's not a lot to say about this. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Will Ferrell, they're being goofy, they're singing. It's Christmas time. It's shot in our hometown, Boston. It's coming to theaters November 11th and Apple TV November 18th, which is the day before my birthday. Number 8, Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical, a brand new take on the Tony Olivier Award-winning musical. This is not a remake. Let me say that one more time. This is not a remake. It's its own adaptation, which I think is very important. I think, in a world where we're making so many remakes and it feels like creativity is dying, fine if you have a remake, adapt it. As you can see there, you got Lashana Lynch, who plays Maria Rambeau in Marvel, and she plays Agent Nomi in James Bond. Matilda the Musical tells the story of an extraordinary girl with a vivid imagination who dares to take a stand to change her story with miraculous results. This movie is getting a lot of high praise. Critics are loving it. It's coming to Netflix November 25th. Number 7, Disenchanted. The long-awaited sequel of Enchanted, which reunites the original cast members Amy Adams, Patrick Dempsey, Idina Menzel, and new names like Maya Rudolph. This is a star-studded cast as you would expect Disney to pull off. It's been 15 years since Giselle and Robert got married, but Giselle has grown disillusioned with the life in the city. She's like, you know what? This isn't working out for us. So they decide to move their family to the sleepy suburban community of Monroeville in search of a more fairy tale life. But you know what they say, right? More money, more problems. So I think as she goes through this adventure, she will find that life is not as fairy tale like as she has expected. Coming to Disney Plus November 24th. Number 6, The Son. This one reminds me a little bit of the movie Beautiful Boy. It stars Hugh Jackman as Peter and follows his busy life with new partner Beth, played by Vanessa Kirby, and their baby. He's completely thrown off when his ex, Kate, played by Laura Dern, arrives with their troubled and distant teenage son, setting the family on a dangerous collision course. This kid is involved with drugs and alcohol. He's not doing well in school. And the whole premise of this is, how will the family survive? How will they juggle this? He wants to be a good father, but he has to hold on to the past as well. This one looks to be a very powerful story. I think it's going to be super emotional. Some people are even saying that this is going to put Hugh Jackman into the Best Actor race at the Oscars. Coming to theaters November 11th. Number 5, The Menu. Starring the beautiful and lovely and talented Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult. This movie is about a couple who travels to a coastal island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef, Ralph Fiennes, I believe it's Fiennes, has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises here. This is being categorized as a horror comedy. It doesn't look entirely scary, so perhaps it's more out of the Get Out realm, sort of this thing that has a deeper, bigger meaning or something like that. But it's gotten solid reviews so far. It's got a star-studded cast, looks super interesting to me, and I don't even like horror. This is coming to theaters November 18th. Hey, that's the day before my birthday. Number 4, Bones and All. The Call Me By Your Name team is back. Luca Guadagnino is teaming back with Timothy Chalamet, and coming along for the ride this time is Taylor Russell. She did an amazing job in Waves. If you haven't seen Waves, definitely go check that out after this. And Mark Rylance is also there, and who doesn't like Mark Rylance? This one is a little weird, but stick with me. This is the description they're giving. Love blossoms between a young woman on the margins of society and a disenfranchised drifter as they embark on a 3,000-mile odyssey throughout the back roads of America. However, despite their best efforts, all roads lead back to their terrifying past and a final stand that will determine whether their love can survive their differences. Alright, let me put that in normal terms for you. It's basically two cannibal lovers who go on a road trip across Reagan America. Just the typical coming-of-age romantic cannibal road film. We did a whole trailer reaction on this. The link is in the description. This film is coming to theaters November 18th. Hey, that's the day before my... You get the idea. Number 3, After Sun. Produced by Barry Jenkins and friends, 11-year-old Sophie takes a summer vacation to Turkey with her loving and idealistic father, Callum, played by Normal People's Paul Mescal, who my girlfriend does not stop talking about. This guy is perfect. He is amazing. Truth be told, he is a pretty amazing actor. 20 years later, she reminisces about the experiences and reflects on their relationships and the parts of him she wasn't able to know as an adolescent. This movie feels very raw, very authentic, and some people are calling this an emotional autobiography of director and writer Charlotte Wells. I think in the world that we live in right now, where there's so much CGI and action and spies and fighting and war movies, it's nice to sort of get a movie that slows down a little bit, just Super 8 camera, following someone's journey, reminiscing about their time with their father. It's wholesome. It feels like there's going to be some sort of emotional breakthrough for the characters. I think this is going to be one of the best movies released this year, honestly. Coming to Mubi in the UK, November 18th. I promise this is not a bit. It actually is coming out November 18th. Number 2, Weird, the Al Yankovic story. The upcoming comedy about the life and career of the biggest selling comedy recording artist of all time, Weird Al Yankovic, played by none other than himself, Daniel Radcliffe, the man, the myth, the legend. You also have Evan Rachel Wood from Westworld. You got Rainn Wilson from The Office. You got Quinta Brunson from Abbott Elementary. I mean, it's just lovable after lovable comedic actor. This one should also be very interesting for those of us who grew up in the 2000s, because Weird Al was mostly just a mystery weird man, like, who just popped up whenever a song blew up. You're like, okay, I guess we're getting another Weird Al song. I mean, they were good, but we were just like, who is this man? It looks like from the trailer, maybe he may have dated Madonna. Like, who is this guy? Like, seriously, like, Madonna and Weird Al were a thing? Like, it makes sense, and it just doesn't make sense. This is coming out November 4th on Roku. Oh, how many streaming platforms do we need to get these days? And number 1, I'm sure you guessed it. No Woman, No Cry. Wakanda Forever. This is going to be the biggest movie of the year. Blockbuster. Everyone's got their eyes on it. This movie is going to be insane. Make sure you got white for the theater experience, or dress up, because this is going to be one of those moments where you're like, hey, where were you when you saw Endgame? Who did you see this movie with? This is just going to blow up at the box office. I don't think I need to describe this one too much, but it's probably one of the most anticipated Marvel movies in the last decade, following Chadwick Boseman's tragic death. We follow the Wakandans, who are also trying to navigate the death of their leader, T'Challa. This is coming to theaters November 11th. Unless you're like me, you got a little early ticket access. Make sure you comment on this video which one you're most interested in. What do we miss out on? And make sure you subscribe, because we make new content every single day. And remember, just be you. Peace.